on to story number 4 on our countdown. No limits, no mercy. Massachusetts Democratic Governor Maura Healey signing one of the most controversial abortion laws in the United States. Healey putting pen to paper on legislation that scraps the 4-part exception test, allowing abortions after 24 weeks up to birth. That's right, up to birth, leaving the decision up to the doctor and informed consent of the patient. But as we've seen in other blue states, with an all-out assault on pregnancy resource centers, offering, denying women a choice to see ultrasounds, we'll have to put the informed consent in air quotes. In a disturbing scene that you just saw, Governor Healey surrounded by women and medical professionals who cheered and applauded the signing. I mean, just look at this. They cheer like this is a celebration in this room. Joining me to discuss, John Yep, who is the CEO and president of Catholics for Catholics, and Father Chris Alar, provincial superior of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception in the U.S. and Argentina. Welcome to you both. Massachusetts is now the 10th blue state to do this, joining Alaska, Colorado, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, and the District of Columbia. Let me get your reaction first, John. What are your thoughts? This is radical, and I'm old enough to remember when a lot of these radical Democrats were saying, no, that's not true. It's not up to birth. Yet now we have 10 states plus D.C. John?
Evil is radical, and it won't stop until there's a limit. And I think that's that scene of those women cheering as that law was signed. If they actually just had in their minds what was actually they were doing. You're talking about babies who are just about ready to be born, about to see the light of day, and will be disassembled and probably sold for their baby parts. It's horrible. It's absolutely crazy. Just in our church group, just a couple of days ago, we had one of our families have a baby at 32 weeks, a little bit early. And just that image of the little tiny finger came out of the womb and grabbed onto the dad's fist. It's just what I have in my mind is just to think that in Massachusetts now, those babies of the similar age now, because the law has said so, can be sacrificed at the altar of abortion. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. Father, I'd like to just get your thoughts on this. I mean, we know medical science today, a baby can survive late 20 weeks, early 30 weeks, no doubt about it. This is horrific to most people. And most of the country agrees that there should be some limits. I mean, it gets into the 80 percentile of saying there should be some limit on this. But from a perspective of babies being a gift from God, how do you address this as a member of the clergy? How do you address this with Americans who have moved away from their faith?
Yeah, the child is already a living human being, whether they're in the womb or not. There's developing stages of human life. As I said in a recent homily, we were all embryos once. We were all fetuses once. We were all infants once. And we were all children once. They are not different stages of the human being, or I should say they are not different kinds of human being or beings. They are different stages in the life of the same human being.
Great point.
And so the importance is here, a baby 1 hour before birth does not have less dignity than the same baby 1 hour after birth. And nobody would claim that after that baby's born and held and alive that you can kill it. But that's basically what's happening now. You know, location inside the womb or not does not determine humanity. Well, these, you know, they look at, well, they're not persons, but dependence does not determine humanity. Size does not determine humanity. Wantedness does not determine humanity. Human dignity depends on the given gift of God. And that is what every human being from conception to natural death has. And that's human dignity given by God.
Now, John, let's turn back to a little bit of the political edge on this. Governor Healey saying the law is necessary. We have to combat the Trump administration following the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Take a listen.
In this moment, it is up to the states to lead. And as governor, I promise that no matter what Donald Trump or Republicans in Congress or the Supreme Court does, we're going to continue to make sure that women and families have access to the health care that they need right here in Massachusetts.
John, what are your thoughts on what you said?
I think that women should have access to the health care, and specifically those little baby girls in the womb, they should have access to health care and the right to life. That's what they're not talking about, the real women, the girls, the baby girls and boys inside the womb. Imagine, for crying out loud, Governor Healey's a Catholic, by the way. She's self-proclaimed Catholic. Imagine if the Blessed Mother had decided to abort baby Jesus at 32 weeks. Would that be okay, Governor Healey? Would she have been exercising her freedom? I don't think so. So this is just a mask for their evil agenda to really just give this false freedom to the individual, and we, the American people, are bearing the consequences of it.
Father, let me bring you in on that point, because one of the battles that we've seen in blue states, and I'm from New Jersey, and I can tell you there's an all-out assault on pregnancy resource centers. And when you find these clinics, when they roll up in front of an abortion clinic and pray and talk to the young women, 85% of the women who get the free ultrasound decide they want to bring the baby into the world. Why are we having such a hard time allowing true choice, the choice of giving birth and having life into the world?
Yeah, because the devil is all about deception and confusion. On calling this healthcare, it's neither good for the health of the mother or the baby, and it's definitely not giving care to the mother or the baby. The after effects, the trauma that it caused the mother, and then the infant the infant being killed. So it's neither health nor is it care, but yet that's how they package it. And this is why the Catholic position is so radically different from the culture. The Catholic position is human dignity is not given by the state. It's given by God, and therefore human dignity cannot be taken away by the state. And this is what is exactly happening. You know, we all cheered for the removal of Roe v. Wade, but the devil has kicked it into high gear. Now that it's gone back to the states, he's infiltrating the states. John, who does great work, pointed out, I mean, it gives you chills of horror to see these women smiling and cheering like if this is some kind of a beautiful event. Oh my gosh, this is opening up portals to evil. You know, I'm from Michigan. Michigan is one of the states. You're from New Jersey. New Jersey is one of the states. Yep. I'm living in Massachusetts. I believe God has put me, I grew up in Michigan. I have a right to speak on the state. I live in Massachusetts. I have a right to vote and speak in the state. Yep. And I think that's one of the reasons God placed me in both states was to try to cry out the horror.
And Father, we appreciate what you're doing. John, we appreciate what you're doing. Keep the faith and keep the fight. Great to see you both. Thank you for joining me.